Don't come back here again.
Hi, brother. You're welcome.
Welcome to Treasures from God's Word. Join us as we explore the riches of the Bible.
Before we begin, please don't forget to subscribe. Title: They treated Jehovah's temple with contempt. Imagine standing in a place that represents Jehovah's presence, a place meant for pure worship, a place associated with His holy name. Now imagine people walking into that place, praying, offering sacrifices, appearing religious, but then walking out and living completely different lives. That was the situation in Judah during the time of Jeremiah. Jehovah sent Jeremiah with a very strong message, and he delivered it right at the temple. Why there? Because that was where the people felt the most confident. They believed they were safe. They were saying in effect, "This is Jehovah's temple, nothing bad can happen to us." But Jehovah saw something they were ignoring. Let's explore 3 key lessons from this account, and more importantly, how they apply to us today. They trusted in the temple, but ignored Jehovah. The people of Judah made a serious mistake. They began to trust in the symbol of worship instead of the God of worship. They thought, as long as the temple is here, we are protected. But Jehovah exposed their thinking. Through Jeremiah, he pointed out their conduct. They were stealing, murdering, committing adultery, swearing falsely, worshipping other gods. And then they came to the temple and stood before Jehovah as if everything was fine. That's why Jehovah likened the temple to a cave of robbers. Think about that expression. A robber's cave is not where crimes are committed. It's where criminals go to feel safe afterward. So Jehovah was saying, "You are using my temple as a hiding place, not a place of true worship." Practical lesson for us. Today, we don't have a physical temple, but we do have our places and forms of worship, meetings, ministry, personal study. The question is not, am I present? The question is, am I genuine? Do we attend meetings but hold on to wrong conduct? Do we preach to others but ignore areas in our own lives that need correction? Do we rely on our identity as Jehovah's servants instead of maintaining a clean heart? Jehovah is not impressed by outward appearance. He looks at consistency. Their conduct dishonored Jehovah's name. The temple in Jerusalem was closely tied to Jehovah's name. Everything that happened there reflected on him. So when the people behaved badly, especially while claiming to represent Jehovah, they brought reproach on his name. And that mattered deeply to Jehovah. Throughout the scriptures, Jehovah shows that his name is not just a label. It represents who he is, his standards, his justice, his love. So when his people live in a way that contradicts those qualities, it creates a serious problem. Practical lesson for us. We proudly identify ourselves as Jehovah's Witnesses. That is a privilege, but also a responsibility. So we can ask ourselves, when people see me at work, at school, or in my neighborhood, what do they think about Jehovah? Do my speech, my choices, and my reactions reflect well on him? Am I the same person in private as I am in public? Even small actions matter. For example, how we handle money, how we treat others, how we respond when offended. These things either honor Jehovah's name or weaken our witness. That's why the question we should constantly ask is, does my conduct reflect well on Jehovah at all times? Jehovah used Shiloh as a warning. Jehovah didn't just warn them, he gave them a historical example, Shiloh. Shiloh had once been a central place of worship. The tabernacle was there, the Ark of the Covenant was there, representing Jehovah's presence. But what happened? The people became corrupt. They treated sacred things lightly. They assumed Jehovah would always protect them no matter what they did. Then came a shocking moment. In battle, they took the ark with them, thinking it would guarantee victory. But Jehovah allowed the ark to be captured. That was unthinkable. And it showed something very important. Jehovah had already withdrawn his support. Shiloh was abandoned. So Jehovah told the people in Jeremiah's day, "Look at what happened there. The same can happen here." And it did. Jerusalem and the temple were eventually destroyed. Practical lesson for us. Past blessings do not guarantee future approval. Just because we've been in the truth for many years, just because we've had privileges, just because we've had good experiences in the past, does not mean we can become careless. Jehovah expects ongoing faithfulness. We cannot live on past spirituality.
Jeremiah's courage and ours. Now think about Jeremiah. He delivered this message at the temple, in public, in front of influential people. This was not easy. It required courage. He knew the message was unpopular. He knew people might reject it, even hate him for it. But he spoke anyway. Why? Because he trusted Jehovah. Practical lesson for us. We may not stand in a temple courtyard, but we do face situations that require courage. Preaching to people who are wealthy or influential, speaking up at work or school, defending Bible principles when it's uncomfortable. At times we may feel intimidated, but we can remember, Jehovah supported Jeremiah and he will support us too. We are not alone. As we come to the end of this discussion, it's worth pausing and really picturing the scene again. There stood Jehovah's temple, magnificent, respected, central to their identity as God's people. The people came, they worshipped, they went through the motions. On the surface, everything looked fine. But Jehovah saw deeper. He saw hearts that were divided. He saw conduct that contradicted their worship. He saw people who wanted the protection of his name without living up to it. And that is why those powerful words were spoken, words that must have shocked anyone listening. Because the issue was never the building, it was never the location, it was always the condition of the heart. Now bring that forward to today. We don't stand in a physical temple, but we are part of something even more meaningful. We are associated with pure worship. We bear Jehovah's name. We represent him in our daily lives. So the question is not whether we are in the truth. The deeper question is the truth truly in us? That's a searching question. It moves us to examine not just what we do when others are watching, but who we are when no one is around. Not just our public worship, but our private decisions. Not just our words, but our motives. Because Jehovah is not looking for perfection, but for sincerity. He values a heart that is striving, humble, and willing to adjust. And that means we don't need to feel discouraged by this account. We can feel motivated. Why? Because unlike those in Jeremiah's day, we have the opportunity to respond. We can make changes where needed, strengthen weak areas, align our conduct more closely with Jehovah's standards. Every day gives us a fresh opportunity to honor Jehovah's name. And think about how meaningful that is. When we choose honesty over dishonesty, when we choose loyalty over compromise, when we choose purity over temptation, we are doing the exact opposite of what Judah did. We are showing Jehovah, your name matters to me. Your standards matter to me. You matter to me. And Jehovah notices that. He values that. He blesses that. So instead of treating sacred things casually, we treat them with deep respect. Instead of relying on outward identity, we build genuine spirituality. And as we continue doing that, we can have confidence, not in a place, not in a routine, but in our relationship with Jehovah. A relationship built on sincerity, obedience, and love. So let each of us leave with this firmly in mind. Never allow what is sacred to become ordinary. Never allow routine to replace genuine devotion. And never allow confidence to replace obedience. If we guard our heart in that way, we will not repeat the mistake of Judah. Instead, we will bring honor to Jehovah's name, now and forever. Please subscribe.